So how's life? I mean, really, how's your life going for you right now? Oh, and me? Well, thanks for asking. Well, it's pretty awesome, really. You see, I'm right around the turning point for the second half of my life. And the outlook, I got to tell you, is amazing. I've got more to look forward to, more knowledge, more relationships and tools at my disposal, and more wisdom, ideas, ambition than ever before in my life. For some reason, though, I noticed that the realization that people have eclipsed the halftime in life is a bit frightening for some. They buy into being over the hill. They start to feel an uneasy weakness creeping into everyday life, either emotional, mental, or physical, or both, and it's scary. And they start to believe corrosive mind talk like, I can't, or I'm too old, or the best has passed. Well, if that's you, then my goal for the next few minutes is to help you see a little different spin on this station in life so that the outlook for you is just as awesome as it is for me. And if you are already there, good for you, and welcome to the club. And by the time I'm done, you'll be an enthusiastic member of my growing alliance of passionate, purposed people pursuing what I call BetterHalf Living. I'm Steve Daly, and like you, I've crested the proverbial hill with the rest of the millions of us baby boomers that are marching through time at a lively, relentless pace. As I record this, there will be more of us reaching 60 years old this year than ever before in our country's history. And quite an army we are. We represent more buying power, more intellectual insight, more life experience than any generation before us. Think about it. We have navigated more change, more identity crisis, more speed in transition than modern science could have ever predicted. And we have had our hand in influencing more of the same faster than any generation before us as well. As a result of this phenomenal ride through the global story, one thing, if not the only thing that's certain, is that the second half of our lives will not be the same as the second half of the lives lived before us. And as we head into the home stretch of life, most of us really aren't slowing down like our parents did or are. The notion of retirement, though a nice idea, doesn't resonate like it did for others before us. There's something that seems irreverent or even really ridiculous about the model of retirement that we've been taught by generations before us. Stopping or slowing down seems like a waste. Seems boring even. We feel fine. We actually are spending a lot of time on feeling finer. And we have unfulfilled itches, incomplete aspirations, things we skipped over, things we'd like to do over. And what a very large, quiet majority of us all well know is that retiring in the context of stopping income-producing activity on a daily basis is a ridiculously far-off notion. Among the many lightning bolt changes our generation has endured, and one that continues to keep us guessing, is an economic upheaval that has left us frantically recalibrating, or worse, feeling somewhat hopeless. So retirement, again, is a busted paradigm. Meanwhile, there's this array of later-in-life issues we're dealing with that don't really have precedent, like the real possibility of outliving our financial resources, the new opportunity or burden, depends on how you look at it, of taking care of aging parents at the same time as we're taking care of our kids as adult children. And there's many other issues that have both emotional and economic impact right where we live. You know, some of us, like those that seem to be consistently, and I've got to say even annoyingly, featured on those popular magazine covers promoting the good life, have had the fortune of making it all work the way it's supposed to in the financial front. But even those folks are facing unfulfillment at a never-before measured scale. They have time, energy, money, all on their hands with what easily can count as a whole lifetime ahead. So we have this in common. In demanding unison, we ask, where do we go from here? And that's where BetterHalf Living comes in. Consider an analogy. Think about a sporting event. In an athletic contest where there's two teams competing for a final victory, there are always two halves. As the team leaves for the halftime break, they face the reality, good or bad, of what just occurred while also anxiously considering the uncertainty of what will come next. There's also reality that the outcome of the entire contest is not yet declared. The team that didn't do well could have made dozens of mistakes, 0 points on the board, no momentum whatsoever, but if they make the right adjustments and come out of halftime with the right conviction, they can turn it all around exactly in the same amount of time that they set themselves up for failure just prior and take it from there. And likewise, the team that gets to the halftime winning, well, they could have all the momentum, all the points, all the phenomenal plays, and all the referee calls going their way, but in a matter of moments, you see, all of that could turn to disappointment. So in either case, the history of the first half doesn't really matter, does it? Either team resting or relaxing or relinquishing that the first half predicted the second half, well, they simply surrender the final score to history instead of their future efforts. So it's an interesting juxtaposition, isn't it? Without the first half, there couldn't be a second half, yet part of the contest that seems to really matter most is the second half, and it will be how we define the game. So, such it is exactly in life. Those of us heading into second half are here because we earned it through the first half, and we too have the opportunity to allow or assume that the first half predicted the outcome of the second, or we can hit the virtual reset button and determine an extraordinary outcome. We have the experience, the wisdom, the lessons, and the memories from the first period to pick and choose from, learn from, and make decisions with. We can choose to engage tenacity, optimism, determination to impact the final outcome. Or we can try to ride it out, hoping that nothing deteriorates too terribly much or much more. We have the opportunity to do life with sort of the sameness of the first half, or, and really this is where I stand, we can decide to make the second half the better half and make it known that we showed up, played hard, and claimed a victory. The great news here is that there is no loser, really, in life, except the person that surrenders the outcome to chance or the foregone conclusion of their history. For those of us that truly are on the field and putting all that we have into the experience, well, we win, every one of us. So the final score is defined in the second half, isn't it? And if we choose to make the second half the better half, the score will be one that we can be really, really proud of. Now, living the second half as the better half is a choice. But what do? We can decide we want it, but are there steps to get it? I've no doubt that you can take it from here with the insight that I've given you, but I also know this. If you go alone, you're going to miss some pretty rich stuff. You might need partners. You might need encouragers or advisors to challenge you. You might need people to celebrate with you or share your ideas with. Or you might need a mentor or two to help you create a plan to make sure that intention meets action. Or you might appreciate resources and tips or the experience of others. Well, I have good news for you. All of that is what the BetterHalf Living Community is all about. There's big plans for this group of ambitious, like-minded group of purposed people. And we are starting out humbly, sort of a grassroots approach. I invite you to become a founding member of our BetterHalf Living Community, our alliance. And it's really easy. Simply go to Facebook and search for BetterHalf Living. Then click like for the BetterHalf Living page. You'll then instantly be part of the conversation. I mean, it'll be just automatic. All the stuff that we post and all the stuff that other people post, you'll be part of that. And you'll immediately dial into everything that's going on as we build a dynamic community of people on the BetterHalf Living mission. But here's another piece. I'll also send you, when you click like, I'll also send you a private message containing a link to a special member-only program I call Mindset. It's an audio block sent weekly to your inbox containing rich insights, tips, ideas for making the rest of your life the best of your life. There's going to be stuff on health, on money, adventures, advice unique to this particular stage in life, and just a lot more. So go to Facebook, like BetterHalf Living, and become part of this exciting conversation and this movement. Let's celebrate BetterHalf Living.